right, welcome back to another episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Daily Walk edition. This is episode number 49. I'm back at Red Morton Park for another great video and another great topic here today that I came up with. I was thinking about this yesterday, and it is overcast. There are a few clouds up in the sky, as you can see. So I'm hoping it doesn't start raining on me while I'm out here. I'm hoping that, for the next couple hours while I do my video and do my entire 7-mile walk I like to do daily, that, it doesn't dump on me. Anyway, like they say, the show must go on. So the show will go on regardless. I'll find a way to make it happen. That's what I do because I am a determined individual. Okay? And I have ambition. And that's part of the topic today. I might as well just get right to it because I mentioned it. Wow, it's a loud, there must be a Harley. I think it is a Harley. I wonder how motorcycles got the nickname Hog. But that's a Harley. It's a hog, right? Anyway, let's get to the topic. Today's Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Daily Walk Edition, episode number 49. 49. Did I say 49 initially? It is episode 49. I don't think I said 47. It's 49. Almost at 50. Halfway to a century. Now, if that isn't, ambition there to do these as often as I do them, then I don't know what is. But the topic of today's video is having ambition is necessary, is an absolute must in order to accomplish anything you want to accomplish. Okay? Having ambition is a key element. It is a necessity in order to accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. And I'm also going to be responding and following up on the video I did yesterday, which was a pretty great video if you haven't seen it yet. That was a video I did on MGTOW / Manosphere men and me calling a truce on all MGTOW Manosphere men. Again, it was a great video. Check it out if you haven't seen it. That was episode number 48. And you probably are going to want to, pause this video now and go back to that video if you haven't seen it, because this one will make more sense if you do watch that video first. So, let me first start off by following up on the video I did yesterday and what type of response I've received on it so far. First of all, if this is your first time here or you've been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and bang the bell if you're on my YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, you can go on my Facebook business page at facebook.com/Life Coach Eli and like the page. Or go over to my YouTube channel. You can search for it, Coach Eli, Purple Pill Mentor with MGTOW knowledge. With is spelled W and /. I didn't have enough characters, or I wasn't allowed enough characters to completely spell out with, so it's my YouTube channel once again is Coach Eli space Purple Pill Mentor with W / MGTOW MGTOW knowledge. And go over there and subscribe and bang the bell. I'm getting a lot of views on my videos. Hundreds of views on my videos. But you folks are not hitting the subscribe button. It makes me wonder. I have 57 subscribers right now. And I'm getting hundreds of views. Now, some of those are probably sock puppets downvoting my videos. That's probably about 30 of them, but I'm still getting many more views. So you people are finding my videos, you're just not subscribing. You're watching my videos regularly, but you're not subscribing. Anyway, I'm not going to beg you to subscribe. I'm just going to ask you to subscribe because I'm going to continue creating great content every day that's going to help you folks. I care about you folks. I truly care about everyone. But anyway, let's talk about the response I got to the video I did yesterday. Once again, in regards to, MGTOW / Manosphere men and me calling a truce amongst all of them. And I also explained what I felt MGTOW was, and I'm feeling some raindrops. Oh, shit. Oh, boy. Oh, shit. Please, I don't want to get rained out in the middle of my video here. Anyway, I explained that, any man can be going their own way. Every man is going their own way. Okay, and that's what MGTOW stands for. It stands for men going their own way. I also explained that, in my honest opinion, the only real true people that can say I am actually a MGTOW are the monks because they completely withdraw. Anyone else, in my opinion, is technically not MGTOW, but you can still be a man going your own way. You are a man going your own way, whether you are MGTOW according to what I feel MGTOW is based on what I've learned, or not. Okay? So, for the most part, the comments were positive. I also discussed another content creator by the name of Charles F. Gray, who is considering shutting down his Charles F. Gray YouTube channel that's been around for about 10 years. And got some feedback on that. Some people were saying that, Charles got caught up in all the drama that I was involved with last year and some of even 2017 when I was running my former YouTube channel. Okay. There is some truth to that. Maybe that affected him as well. But regardless, he is a great content creator. He did put out a video last night in response to this and also to update people, where he's at and what he will end up doing unless he sees some pretty quick improvement with the engagement on his channel. It's not necessarily even in, people donating. It's just engagement has gone down and it's almost not even worth it for him to do the videos. I think a lot of his videos are getting less than 100 views, and he has almost 2,400 subscribers. There's something wrong when someone has almost 2,400 subscribers and they're getting less than 100 views per video. There's something wrong with that. I have 57 subscribers. I'm not even showing my subscriber count right now. At some point, I will turn it on. I have 57 subscribers, and I'm getting more views than people that have over 2,000 subs. Something is up there, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. And what I've drawn as a conclusion in Charles's case is that because he got caught up in this drama along with me. And no disrespect, Charles, I do love you, and we are going to work together on some stuff. You did ride the Coach Eli wave, and it grew your channel. It made you money, and that's probably what honestly happened. A lot of people rode the Coach Eli wave because I came out there last year, and even some of 2017, like a rocket, expressing myself and getting in people's faces unlike anyone's ever seen before. I also brought my now ex, who was my current at that time, on my channel, which is what got even more attention, and it just kind of stirred things up in ways I didn't even realize was going to happen, or I would have never brought her out there. But I think that's what kind of happened to Charles, and some people have commented on that. They're wishing Charles the best if he does leave, but they hope he doesn't leave. So Charles, hopefully, you start seeing some more engagement on your channel before you decide to hit that button of destruction. I believe by the end of this month is what you said is your D-Day. Okay. So if you haven't supported Charles F. Gray, go to the Charles F. Gray channel, hit subscribe, bang the bell. It is windy. You can probably hear that wind. I know the windscreen on this microphone is decent, but even the best windscreens are going to pick up some noise every now and then. So please forgive me for that. It's not me breathing. That is the wind. It's very windy. And the sprinkles I was feeling a second ago are not happening right now, so that's good. So yes, you can go to the previous video I did, episode number 48, which was yesterday. I shared the link in the description section of episode number 48 of my daily walk video to subscribe to Charles's channel, and I also shared his PayPal link. I did donate $25. I didn't ask Charles to do anything for it, but he still did because he's a good man. He recognized me and he put it out there, so I appreciate Charles. And he even mentioned he received a few other donations, so thank you to everyone that took my video seriously yesterday and went over to support Charles. Okay, so if you haven't done that, please go ahead and support Charles. He's a good man, especially if you supported him in the past. If you supported Charles in the past because of the fact that he was feeding into what was happening with me and it was entertaining for you, and now you're no longer supporting him because that's no longer happening and you're no longer entertained, then you were never there for the right reason in the first place. I hate to say it, Charles, but anyone like that should just fucking unsubscribe and leave. Because they're not there for the right reason. They're not there to support you. They're just there to entertain themselves at someone else's expense, which happened to be me. So anyway. Now, I did receive a bunch of comments in regards to, what I thought MGTOW stood for, or what I feel is a real MGTOW or not. And I received some comments, in regards to the fact that I mentioned that every man is a man going their own way. So I put it in a way where not every man is technically MGTOW according to the MGTOW philosophy, ideology, or lifestyle, like you want to call it. But even though, in my opinion, only monks, are considered MGTOW, true MGTOWs, okay, let's just say this. True MGTOWs are the monks. Okay, so true MGTOWs are the monks. The rest of us have MGTOW knowledge, red pill knowledge. At least most of us do. Okay, whether we use it properly or not, we're aware of it. So the rest of us are technically men going our own way, like I mentioned yesterday. But I still got a few comments, especially a comment from one YouTube user, and I think he's also a content creator. I cannot remember his username because it's not something easy to remember. But basically, he had messaged me telling me, is it worth it to view your almost hour-long video? And Redwood City Police is following. Wow, a lot of Redwood City Police have been at the park lately. There's 2 of them. Wow. This is interesting. I don't know why there are 2 of them and what they are doing. Maybe they're just having lunch. I think they're doing the cop reversal. They're going to have lunch and they're going to talk. So I'm just going to keep on moving forward. And doing my video. I love that, the cop reversal. Yesterday, there was a lady cop that said hi to me. So anyway, so basically MGTOW is whatever you want to make it to be. Whatever you make MGTOW to be is what it is. And this guy was basically saying that you're using the MGTOW moniker improperly. Well, it gives you the right to use MGTOW in your title, your purple pill. What does it matter if I'm purple pill, blue pill, red pill, black pill, rainbow pill? What does it matter? What does it really matter? I'm aware that the stove is hot. I'm aware of red pill knowledge. And I am a man going my own way, whether I'm going the same way you're going or not. If you're monk and you're withdrawing, that's the way you want to go. And you know what? More power to you. Okay? I don't want to withdraw, even though I know the stove is hot, because I love the nature. I love female company. It's not that I'm not saying I love the modern current nature of women. I don't. But I love the old school values of women, and some women still have those values, but even those women, are protected with modern day, laws. And I know even, it's dangerous to date good women because the system still favors them, whether they take advantage of the system or not. I understand that. But I choose to go that way. That is my way. I'm a man going my own way. I choose to continue dating a woman, and I may consider possibly getting married. I'll protect myself as best as possible if I do that, but I want to have a family. I'm a family man. I'm old school. I'm traditional. Maybe you can call me a tradcon, even though I'm not a conservative. I more so identify with the left as a liberal. But quite frankly, there are many liberal views I like and don't like, and there are many conservative views that I like and don't like. I'm kind of like in the middle, but if I had to identify myself, I'm more on the left as a liberal. And there's no such thing as trad lib. There's trad con. But go ahead, just call me a fucking trad con. That's fine. That's what they call guys like me in the MGTOW community. Trad con. Okay? But I'm a man going my own way. And if you don't like it, tough luck. If you don't like the fact that I have MGTOW in the title of my YouTube channel, tough luck. What are you going to do about it? Sue me? Who owns the rights to the MGTOW, label and the MGTOW name? Nobody. It's not trademarked. It's not copyrighted. Until somebody takes ownership of it, which nobody has, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do with it. And if you don't like what I do with it, then don't view my content. If you're subscribed to me and you don't like what I'm doing, unsubscribe and leave and go somewhere else. I don't fucking get it. It's very simple. I'm a man going my own way. Okay? I'm a man going my own way, like I mentioned yesterday. And the only reason why I'm responding to this again today, and it's kind of sounding like a little bit of a repeat of yesterday's video initially, because you guys just don't fucking get it. Some of you guys just don't get it. It's not a big deal for any man that wants to put content out there to use MGTOW in their title, as long as they're not out there to rip people off. I'm not out here to rip people off. Yes, I am a coach. I do have services. And I do offer them, but I clearly state what I offer, and I don't force it upon people. And I give most, if not like 99% of my information away for free every day. So don't sit here and compare me to other guys in the past that misused the MGTOW label. We know who those guys are. They were running that red pill cryptocurrency bullshit. Some others were trying to sell sex dolls and other things like that. I don't agree with all that. I'm with you guys on that, but I'm not out here to sell that shit. I'm a fucking coach. And I'm here to help people navigate through this crazy modern world that we all live in today, that's different. That's changed over the past 55 years, and we don't have enough history and experience, to navigate it. Now, some of us have had a little more experience, like myself. We're kind of gaining the experience on the fly right now, and us that have experienced all this want to share that experience with others, other men in my case, and other women as well, because I feel both men and women can learn from what I've learned. Since again, You know, it's only been, what, about 55 years since women were liberated and this whole thing started changing. That's why I do what I do. Okay? I'm a man going my own way. And if you don't like it, tough luck. What are you going to do about it? Bitch about me in the response video? Okay? Go ahead and make all the response videos you want, because all you're doing is helping me and not hurting me. Okay? When I used to run my former channel, let me tell you something. One of the main things that I was worried about, which is why I kind of silenced myself, is the fact that I made a mistake of bringing my girlfriend at the time on my channel. Now I stand alone. Now I'm here speaking for myself and I only answer, to myself. I don't have to fucking answer to you if I don't want to. But I will respect you at the same level you respect me. I may not agree with everything that you say, but I will respect you, if you respect me, whether you agree with what I say or not. And again, I'm not trying to hurt MGTOW. I'm not trying to attack MGTOW. I'm not trying to abuse MGTOW. I'm trying to help men and women, but primarily men because they need more help. And how can I help women, you might ask? Well, I can help women by sharing with women why men are reacting and behaving the way they're behaving from what I've learned, especially out here within the Manosphere and MGTOW community. Because women are wondering. I've talked to many women, even as friends, and they're like, I can't find a good man. It's like they turn me off. They come up to me and they see I'm attractive, but, like they have a hard time speaking to me. That's because men have been pussified. They become big fucking pussies. They're weak. They have no balls. They fear rejection. And that's not masculine energy. That used to not happen back in the days of traditionalism. But I can tell you right now, there are a shitload of men like that out there today. I'd probably say about 70% of the men out there today are those types of men. And in the MGTOW Manosphere community, they're referred to as blue pill men. They don't have a fucking clue. We need to help those people. Because those are the people that are actually hurting us. Even the people that are red pill aware, whether you're technically MGTOW or not, whether you're a monk or not. Just because I'm not monk, just because I choose to continue dating and possibly get married, even though I know the stove is hot, doesn't mean I'm not aware. I am aware. And if you think I'm stupid, or even more stupid because of the fact that even though I am aware, I still choose to participate, that's my choice. I'm a man going my own way just like you are. You want to be a monk? Be a monk. I support you. And I love you like a brother. And I'm not going to think any differently of you because of your choice. If that's your choice, I respect your choice. I'm not going to attack you because of your choice. My purpose out here is not to attack people. My purpose out here is to share information and give everyone the best possible shot of accomplishing whatever it is that they want to accomplish or whatever it is that their heart desires, while minimizing, the amount of pain they go through or getting hurt or being taken advantage of. That's all I do. I'm not here to criticize you. Many of you guys out here just are so emotionally fucked up and butthurt over what happened to you that a guy like me comes around that's solid and strong and, still decides to move forward on this plantation. You kick me down. And you don't kick me down because you really want to do it. You kick me down because, you know what? I'm stronger than you. I'm better than you. I'm more confident than you. And you just can't handle that. That's the honest truth. That's the freaking honest truth. So I'm going to wrap up by saying this. I'm probably going to get some more comments on that video yesterday where I discussed MGTOW Manosphere men and asking for a truce and stating what I feel is actually MGTOW, and also once again stating that every man is a man going their own way. I'm going to keep saying this until I drill it into everyone's fucking head. Every man, good, bad, indifferent, whether you consider them MGTOW or not, in regards to however you believe, the philosophy of being a real MGTOW is. Okay? Every man is a man going their own way. Blue pill, simps, white knight manginas, cucks, etc. They're all men going their own way. They're choosing to do that shit, even though it's not good. They're still a man going their own way. Now those guys, rather than criticize them and kick them down, we need to have a conversation with them and say, hey, dude, look, I understand you're going your own way, but there's a better way. Are you open to hearing some suggestions? I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm trying to help you out because I've been through what you've been through, and I don't want to see you get hurt. I'm not going to kick you down for wanting to date women or getting married, but I just want to make you as aware as possible of what you're up against, and then you choose to do what you want to do, regardless of what I think. So again, before I wrap up this first part here of responding to that video yesterday, okay, get this straight. Every man is a man that's going their own way. Even if you have never heard of MGTOW, you're a man that's going your own way. You're a man that's choosing your own path, whether it's a good path, a bad path, a mediocre path, okay, or a very confused path like some of the blue pillars are going through. And that's happening a lot within our youth, like the Generation Y generation, which is the post-millennial I generation. Those guys are in for a world of shit because they're in high school wanting to date women like it was when I was in high school dating women, and these women don't want to date. They just want to have sex or just be fuck buddies or be friends. I've seen this happen hands-on. Okay? You're all men going your own way. And again, instead of attacking these men, in stupid ways such as, saying that, you're not doing the right thing and you're an idiot and don't date and you should be MGTOW and you're not MGTOW. Instead of attacking them, why not help them? Talk with them and ask them what they really want and be understanding to their wants and needs and help them as best as possible in regards to what they're in search of. They may want to stay on the plantation and date women, but that doesn't mean, they shouldn't be a part of our community. That doesn't mean we should kick them down or belittle them. We need to help these people more so. 70% or even greater of the men out there are blue pill men that are ruining it for everybody and are enabling this system. Let's focus on those men and helping them. Let's invite them and welcome them into our community. And I'd be happy to help any of those guys out there that are struggling. Reach out to me. Okay? Go to my website, coacheli.com, and click on the coaching services tab. I have very reasonable rates. Reach out to me. I can help you. Get you on the right path. Okay? A lot of these guys out there are doing videos and reviews on me saying I have no clue what I'm talking about. They're talking a bunch of smack about me. Who are you going to believe? These guys that are talking shit about me that don't even show their face or use their real name, or someone that uses their real name, shows their face, and creates high-quality videos every day? Who are you going to believe? The choice is yours. All right. I've said enough about that. Let's talk about ambition and how having ambition is absolutely necessary. There's that big City of Redwood City truck. Is that like a sewer truck or something? I don't know what the fuck that thing is. It's fucking loud, though. I've seen it many times out here on my walks. But yeah, let's talk about ambition and how important ambition is and how necessary having ambition is as the key element, as the stepping stone to accomplishing whatever it is that you want to desire. We've gone for 30 minutes. Okay. Should probably wrap this up in the next 20, 25 minutes or so. I have two stories I'm going to share with you here today. For the first story is going to be a brief story involving an ex-girlfriend. This is not a negative story. It's just an example. And then the second story is going to be in regards to my father, who passed away 10 years ago. Because my father was one of the most ambitious men or people I've met in my entire life. And that's where I get it from. I'm a spitting image of my father. Okay? But the first story I want to mention is that I've had many relationships in my life. And I've talked about many of them here, through my videos. But out of all the women that I've dated, had a relationship with, there was one woman and only one woman that I felt had ambition like I've never seen it before in any other woman. Okay? Including my own mother. Now, I love and respect my mother, but I've never really seen ambition come from my mother. Now, many of you guys out there might say, well, ambition is more of a masculine trait because in the traditional days, it was the man that was working, the woman taking care of the household. So the man was the one that had to be ambitious and determined to make shit happen and provide for the family. But nowadays, because of modern day feminism and women being in the workforce, okay, there are some women out there that are ambitious. And I actually respect those women that are truly ambitious. And one of the main reasons why I respect those women is because those are women that are not taking advantage of the system. They're actually making shit happen in the same ways that men have always made shit happen within the workforce or accomplishing something that they want to accomplish. Okay? So I going to just briefly mention that this one particular ex, went through some stuff and basically had to make some life-changing things happen because of her income situation. And this was a while back. Okay, this was a while back. So for those of you out there that follow me religiously and you're thinking this is a particular ex that you folks are aware of, no. This is a while back. This particular ex was struggling financially, and she was determined to change that. Her and I talked about it. I motivated her to continue doing what she wants to do to make herself successful. To make a long story short, she made it happen and made something out of herself. Now, I haven't kept up with her. This was a while back, but I'm assuming she's doing well today. Okay? Another thing, when I was with this particular ex, I could always feel her ambition to want to be with me. Now, just because this relationship didn't work out, okay, things changed. But while we were together, I genuinely felt her presence. I genuinely felt that, she was there for the right reason. Okay? She went way out of her way, and she was determined to show me how much she cares. She did a lot of things for me. And again, even though it didn't work out, okay, during the time we were together, I could feel her ambition, and that was the biggest turn on you know, that was the biggest turn on to me about her, because I had never been with any other woman and haven't been with any other woman that had the ambition she had and probably still has to this day. Okay? The ambition that this woman had turned me on. Don't get me wrong, I was physically attracted to her and emotionally attracted to her and mentally attracted to her. But her ambition of truly wanting to accomplish something and making things happen for herself was a big turn on to me. And she was feminine, don't get me wrong. She was feminine. You know, she didn't act all masculine or wanted to wear the pants or anything. Okay? But she always put her best foot forward to try to accomplish whatever she needed to accomplish to get herself ahead and put herself in the best position possible in life. And I admire someone like that. Completely admire someone like that. Okay, it's very rare. It's very rare because, you know, I've talked to many women and even men, you know, since that, you know, relationship in the past. And I ask people, what is your purpose? What is your passion? What is your desire? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If I were to probably hunt down this woman today and ask her what her purpose is, she would know exactly what it is, and she'd be able to state it very clearly. People that are ambitious and that actually become successful and make things happen are able to clearly state their purpose. And they don't let anything get in the way of their success. They keep a positive attitude. Okay? And they put a lot of time and energy into accomplishing what they want to accomplish. Especially if it's something that they need to survive. When it comes to work, you need to be able to make enough money to pay your bills, and if you're not, you have to find other ways to make money. You maybe get a different job. What I've seen through other women and men, that, for example, maybe in a, you know, job that is paying them okay, but not enough. I hear them complaining that they're not making enough money and they're struggling to pay their bills. So I say, well, you know, why don't you, you know, do something else that's going to make you more money? You know, what about promotional opportunities? What about taking a night class and, you know, studying something else that you may be more passionate about than what you're doing right now? And they're like, well, you know, I'm going to kind of just sit it out here and see what happens. They told me there may be some promotional opportunities, you know, in the next year or so. So you're going to sit there and just kind of deal with it and sit there in your comfort zone, but then you're still going to complain at the same time that you're not making enough money and it's a struggle to pay your bills. That's what happens to a lot of people. A lot of people that live paycheck to paycheck, and they are making enough money to survive, but everything is tight. Okay? They get stuck in that comfort zone. They know that they want to make more money. They know that they're capable of doing better, but they just can't get over that hump. They're stuck in that rut. They don't have the ambition that someone like me does, or this particular ex I was talking about a second ago in the previous story. Take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror, because you are your own worst enemy. You as a human being, as an individual, can accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish, as long as you have the drive to do it, as long as you're ambitious enough to do it. And if you don't have ambition, you've got nothing. If you don't desire to make a change, and you'd rather sit there at your comfortable job that's paying you barely enough to survive, and you're living paycheck to paycheck, if that's the lifestyle you want to live, that's your choice. But if you're going to live that life and want to live that life, then I don't want to hear you complaining that you're not making enough money, because you can't have your cake and eat it too. That's the thing I hate about people. I'm not hate, but that's the thing that really drives me crazy about people, is that they say they're not making enough money. And then a guy like me comes around and says, I can help you change that. Would you like to change that? And they're like, yeah, I'd love to change that, but you know what? I'm going to give my current job or this just a little more time, another year or so. And right then and there, I know that they don't have any ambition. So what I'll tell them is, hey, look, when you figure it out, let me know. I'd be happy to guide you in the right direction. I have a lot of experience. But right now, it kind of seems like you're stuck in a rut. And if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do that. But as your friend, I don't want to hear you complaining that you're not making enough money when you're not willing to do anything about it. If you're going to complain that you're not making enough money, you got to fucking do something about it. Okay? You got to do something about it. And most people are not. They get stuck in their comfort zone. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. So that's the first part. The second part here, we've gone 41 minutes. Let me talk about my father, who was the most ambitious man I ever met in my entire life. I learned a lot of what it takes to be an entrepreneur from him. God rest his soul. He passed away at the age of 76, 10 years ago. Okay. My father, when he came over to the U.S. with my mother, my father was 18 years older than my mother when they got married. And they had me, and my father was around 40 years old when I was born. My father was a car salesman. Ooh, the fire truck is coming. Let's see, where is it going? I think the fire truck is going, it's going to the parking lot. They like to go over there and test their hoses and shit in the big parking lot. So I'm gonna avoid that area. Because it's going to be loud, lots of diesel. I guess they're cleaning out their hoses and shit. A lot of maintenance. And they can't do that at the fire station nearby because it's a smaller fire station. Some fire stations are fully equipped to handle all that shit. But the one fire station around the corner here is a tiny one, so they have to come out to the parking lot of the park and do all that. So yeah, my father, when he came out here, to provide for the family, he went into sales. He was a car salesman for the first 20 years of his life. Okay? Something like that. Like the first 20 or 15 years of his life, it was something like that. And he was the number one car salesman in the Bay Area and one of the top car salespeople in the country. Just to give you an example, I'm not trying to show off, okay? Like in the late 80s, excuse me one second. In the late 80s, there was one year where my dad made $200,000 selling cars. Today, that's equivalent to probably about $500,000 selling cars. The average car salesman out there today makes around 40 to 60 to 70 or maybe even 80 grand or 100 grand a year if they're good. My dad was making 2 to 3 times that in the 80s, where things were much cheaper. Okay? And money was worth more now. I mean, well, the cost of living has increased. Inflation is what I'm talking about. It's gone up. So my dad, would bust ass. He worked, 7 days a week, 14 hours a day. I've kind of talked about this before. It kind of affected him from being around, as much as I would have wanted to be around. He was around, but, he could have been around more, but no big deal. He was working, providing for the family. And what happened, it's like about 15 years, 12 to 15 years into his career, he got into management because he was a great salesperson. And then he had money saved up, and he became business partners with somebody. Like he bought half of two dealerships with somebody. So basically, let's say there's a Toyota dealership and a Mazda dealership. Okay? My father and this gentleman that he was working with put their money together, and they bought two dealerships that they each owned 50% of. What ended up happening was the guy that my father became partners with was a snake and kind of screwed him over with some of the paperwork. Some shit happened, and my dad had to sue the guy. And they were in court for a very, very long time, and it was kind of a crazy thing. And for a couple of years, my father wasn't working. He had money in the bank, and he had equity in homes, but that wasn't going to sustain the family for more than a couple of years or so. At some point, that money's going to run out, so he had to do something. Okay? Because my father is ambitious, or was ambitious when he was alive, he's probably still ambitious in a better place. He's probably driving God crazy, but that's all right. It's all good. Because my father was determined and ambitious, he decided, I think it was in his like early to mid 50s or so, to go back to school and get his real estate license, become a real estate broker. Throughout the time that all this crazy shit was happening with this guy that he went into a business partnership with, where it went wrong. He didn't let that get to him. He knew he had a wife and two kids to provide for. He was determined. He was ambitious. Okay? He studied, took the test, passed it right away, and then ended up becoming one of the top realtors in the Bay Area. Made very good money. Made very, very good money. And he was kind of semi-retired at the age of 76 when he passed away. You would think that most people are going to retire by the time they're 65 or 70. My father, we would ask him back in our younger days, like my friends and myself and my brother, when are you going to retire? My dad would say, when I'm 6 feet under. I think I've shared this story before. Like a former friend of mine used to ask my dad, my dad's name was Dimitri, which is my middle name. Dimitri, when are you going to retire? When I'm 6 feet under, with this big, thick Greek accent. And then it was funny. I've shared this story before, but I think it was on my former channel, which is no longer around. So I'll share it again. At my funeral, this former friend of mine showed up, and he had the nerve to tell me, he was trying to, make a joke, but you don't joke at a funeral when someone loses their father. He said, "Hey, dude, good to see you, man. I know it's been a while. Hey, dude, I guess your dad's retired now." He had the fucking nerve to say, "Your dad's fucking retired now," to remind me of that joke I just mentioned when we were younger, because my dad would work so much. My friend asked him, when are you going to retire? And my dad said, when I'm 6 feet under. This guy was not the sharpest tool in the shed. This guy is like the second dumbest motherfucking guy I've ever met in my entire life. I mentioned who the dumbest fucking guy I've ever met in a previous video. Go back several videos and find that. I'm not going to mention it again, but this guy used to be the dumbest fucking guy I've ever met in my entire life. Now he's the second dumbest, because I actually didn't think I would meet somebody that was dumber than him, but I did. And no disrespect, I'm just being truthful. Some guys just are not the sharpest tools in the shed. They just have no common sense at all. They're uneducated, and they act like little kids. So, anyway, so my dad became one one of the top realtors in the San Francisco Bay Area. Okay? And he was able to provide for my mother, my brother, and I. And, obviously my brother and I got older and we started working and doing our own thing. But because he had, what's the word I'm looking for here? I just had the word. Because he had ambition. He was ambitious and determined to make something happen for his life and his family and to leave a legacy. He was able to accomplish all that. My dad built a great estate. My mother now, my mother did work. Don't get me wrong. Once I turned 16, my mother worked for 25 years as a divorce clerk. Okay? So she knows a thing or two about divorce. She would handle the divorces in the county, for San Mateo County, which is, where she lives. So, my mother did do her part to contribute. But my father contributed the most and was able to set things up before he passed away for my mother to be taken care of, well taken care of, for the rest of her life. That's because my father was an ambitious man. He was determined to make something happen. And he wasn't going to stop until he accomplished it. And maybe he felt like he had no choice because he had a family to provide for. There's always an underlying reason why you're determined to do something. And typically it's because, you need money to survive. And you need a certain amount of money to survive. Especially out here in the San Francisco Bay Area, you need a lot more money to survive than most other places. If you're the provider and people are relying on you, that's certainly motivation. But you still have to have ambition. And you still have to be determined to make things happen. And when you have the pressure of people relying on you to provide for them, it's much harder to stay on track. It's much harder to stay determined. It's much harder to have that ambition. But my father was the kind of person that never let anything get in the way of success. He never let things bother him. My father was the kind of guy that could turn off emotion to make the right business decision every single time. Don't get me wrong, my father had his moments, right? But for the most part, if you try to talk emotional shit with my father, he would tune it out. And I could never understand why he would tune it out back then, but now I do, because he knew that if he let the emotion get in the way, then it would affect him from being the provider that he was, because he had to stay focused on providing and accomplishing, what he needed to accomplish, to provide for the family and to make something out of himself and to leave a legacy behind. If he let the emotion get to him, that maybe my brother and myself or my mother was giving him, he would have failed. So whenever my brother and I needed the emotional support, what did he do? He would send us to our mother. Now, don't get me wrong. My dad was a supportive guy. Don't get me wrong. But he would send us to our mother. And that's what a mother is there for. The mother is there to nurture you and give you the support. Your father is too, but in a different way. That's why it's important to have a mother and a father, when you're raising kids, because both the mother and father offer different aspects of nurturing love. They teach you different things. And together, it allows you as a kid growing up to become the well-balanced, well-rounded kid you should end up becoming. Okay? So that's pretty much, my thoughts on, how being ambitious and having ambition and determination to make things happen are going to be the ultimate difference in whether you accomplish something that you want to accomplish or not. If you want to make something out of yourself, no matter what it is, if you want to get that perfect corporate job, or if you want to start your own entrepreneurial business, if you want to find that special love, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you have to have ambition, which is another word for desire, a strong desire to make it happen. And you can't give up, because you're going to fail many times, more than likely, before you get your desired result. And that's what happens to people. People that try once or twice and then they give up on something they really want don't have ambition. People that have ambition and desire continue to push forward and work harder no matter how many times they fail. And eventually they will accomplish what they want to accomplish. I saw that in my father, and I saw that in that one particular ex that I used as an example earlier on in this video. And that's where I'm going to end this today at 56 minutes. I'm going to finish up my walk here later on tonight. I'm going to go out to dinner with my lady friend and, see what she's up to. Who knows what's going to happen with her. She's a cool person. I've been mentioning her a lot lately. She's been the only woman I've been hanging out with for a while now. I have not been meeting other women on Match.com or anything like that. I'm not on Match.com anymore. So who knows? We'll see where it goes, and I'll keep you folks posted. But the one thing I never will do, that I did in the past, is bring her on my YouTube channel or out here in the public spotlight. I'll never put out her real name. And that way I don't give you guys the ammo you had last year. Because let me tell you something. One of the best ways to give people ammo on the internet when you're challenging touchy subjects is to bring your other half out here. Especially if you're a man and she's a woman, they're going to attack her to get to you because they know you can handle it. You guys knew I could handle it, but you knew at some point my girlfriend back then, who's now my ex, would crack. Okay? You knew it. Okay? And I'll tell you what, I primarily blame myself for it because I'm the one that let it happen. I'm the one that brought her out here. Now, I didn't know any better. I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't have the experience that I now have. But now that I do have the experience, I absolutely know what to not do anymore. Okay? So that's where I'm going to end this here today. You folks all have yourselves a great day, and I will see you all next time. See you all soon. Bye-bye.